Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 27th, 2025, and Inigo Martinez has aimed a dig at Real Madrid. Also, the Barcelona Femeni are officially in the final of the Women's Champions League. And finally, it seems like Inter Milan are entering a crisis. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I'm currently out of town. I'm not home. I'm not in my YouTube studio. So therefore, I'm bringing you this short live stream just to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news. This is not a podcast. So therefore, I will not be reading the comments. This is, again, just to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news while I am out of town. Now, having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and let's begin with the news because, of course, as you know by now, Barcelona are officially the champions of the Copa del Rey, where Barcelona won their 32nd Copa del Rey against Real Madrid 3-2 in what was an extremely exciting final that had to go all the way to extra halves. And of course, I did already my post-match live analysis. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you do so you can hear my thoughts, my analysis, my review, everything of that epic final that we all witnessed, where Barcelona won their second trophy of the season, second trophy against Real Madrid in the final, which makes it that much more special. Now, we are going to be discussing the reactions to this Copa del Rey final because after the match, Inigo Martinez gave an interview where he aimed a dig at Real Madrid. Now, this is what Inigo Martinez had to say, and don't worry, I am going to make this bigger. There we go. But Inigo said, "Congratulations to Richie," referring to the referee, the Burgos Bengochea, and his teammates who have been at a very high level. I hope we all do the same and put ourselves in their shoes because it was very unfair to reach those levels. We have to support them because we all fail in life, and it's hard what they go through. Nobody likes to be in that situation. What happened yesterday is not up to the level of the great club that is Madrid. That's my opinion. It's not easy to be there and have everyone pointing fingers at you. That's why I congratulated the referee today. We all make mistakes. I think football won today, and that's what's important. We knew there was a lot of hype around them and that it was going to be complicated. He was able to handle it, and I'm happy for Richie, again, referring to the referee, because he's a great guy. Professionalism never fails, and for our part, it was about proving we were better as we have done. So Inigo Martinez straight up aiming a dig at Real Madrid, who, as you know by now, put on a fiasco, an embarrassing fiasco, where they first launched the Real Madrid TV video accusing the Burgos Bengochea of not being a fair referee. When he complained, they asked that he be taken out of the match. When he wasn't taken out of the match, Real Madrid pulled out of all official activities, including the press conference, training session, pictures, luncheon with Laporta, and finally they even threatened not showing up. All of that just to put pressure on Bengochea, which it did work because he did some terrible calls. He missed some terrible calls in favor of Barcelona, but nonetheless, Inigo Martinez could have easily gotten a bike and said, "Look, Madrid did this. They put pressure on the ref. It worked. He was horrible." But instead, he takes the high road. He goes to be the bigger guy and congratulates them and puts himself in his shoes and say, "Look, we all make mistakes. This happened. However, what Madrid are doing to him and other referees, it's not okay, and it's not up to par to the great club that Real Madrid hold themselves to." And then aiming another dig by saying, "I think football won today." And I agree 100%. As I said in a post-match live analysis, I think Barcelona deserved to win because they were the better team, but also because that was the fair thing. After everything Real Madrid did in the lead up to the final with all their shenanigans, I think Barcelona deserved to win even more because of that. And Inigo Martinez saying football won today. So aiming a clear dig at Real Madrid, who completely embarrassed themselves the way they behave. Now, Lamine Yamal also did an interview in the post-match post-match interviews that all the players did after winning the Copa del Rey. And check out what he said. He gave a 9-second interview, but during those 9 seconds, he said everything there needed to be said. Now, Lamine Yamal said the following: I told Araujo, even if we concede 1 goal, no problem. Even if we concede 2 goals, still no problem. This year, they simply can't beat us. We've proven that. I'm really happy. Bisca Barca. So that's it. Mic drop by Lamine Yamal, who said everything that needs to be said. It doesn't matter how many goals Real Madrid were going to score, because this year they simply can't beat us. And Barcelona proved it again. 4-0 in La Liga, 5-2 in the Spanish Super Cup final, 3-2 in the Copa del Rey final, and hopefully another victory in the second El Clásico match in La Liga. And finally, I will end this segment of reactions with the statement of our president, Joan Laporta, who said the following: it was a spectacular final. We saw a great game. Pedri's goal was spectacular. Flick made the right changes, and these players deserved it. These players feel very strongly about Barca. They're true culés, and they're doing a marvelous job. It was a collective victory. Hansi sometimes curbs the euphoria of this group because they are very young and may seem irreverent, but they were the first to be convinced that they would win. These players have a confidence in themselves. They are very young and very hungry. So Laporta very happy with the team and with Hansi Flick, and just highlighting that these players, despite being young, they're not afraid, man. They are not afraid. They are hungry. They want it, and they're out there getting it because they are culés 100%. They've seen what this team has gone through so many years with all the failures, and they're out there. They're ready. They're hungry. They want to prove themselves. They want to win trophies, and that's exactly what they're doing. Now, speaking of the Copa del Rey final match, I do want to highlight something real quick, because it looks like the referee report actually included the incident that happened after the match. I was surprised. We all saw what happened with Mbappe, with that, criminal tackle that he did on the Alaves player, which should have merited between 4 to 12 match suspension. But because they falsified the match report saying, oh, he was just challenging the ball, he only got a 1-match ban. But this time, the Burgos Bengochea did include what actually happened. We all saw it in the video. Rudiger acted like an absolute lunatic. Threw he threw the wrapping at the referee. He tried to throw a bag of ice at him. Players had to hold him back. He even threatened the referee with death. He said, you are dead, multiple times. And it looks like Carlos de Bengochea did include all this in his report, that Rudiger threw something at him and that his teammates had to hold him back. So they're talking about a possible 4 to 12 match suspension. And yes, that does apply to La Liga. Also, the report includes that Carvajal received a red card because he ran into the field protesting the referee's decision. So he got a red card. And then Jude Bellingham, who also had to be held back by his teammates because he was trying to attack the referee, he also received a red card. We'll see how much they get as far as match suspensions, but absolutely shameful behavior by the supposed club of values. That's what Real Madrid call themselves, the club of values. Well, these are the values that Real Madrid are teaching, and I want nowhere or nothing to do with these values, because this is absolutely shameful. Now, from Barcelona's men's team, who won the Copa del Rey final, we now move on to the Barcelona Femeni, because, ladies and gentlemen, our ladies continue to absolutely dominate every single competition and every single team they go against, because today they won 1-4 against Chelsea in the second leg of the Champions League, after winning 4-1 against Chelsea in the first leg of the Women's Champions League, semi-final of the Women's Champions League, bringing the aggregate score to 8-2. 8-2. Barcelona Femeni defeat Chelsea, and they are officially in the final of the Champions League, of the Women's Champions League. Hopefully the men's team will follow suit and will be also in the final of the Champions League, the men's Champions League, of course. But congratulations to our Barcelona Femeni, who again continue to show that they are absolutely an unstoppable force all across the globe. And now we'll end today's video with one team who is not winning, and that is Inter Milan, who today suffered another defeat, their third defeat in a row. This time came at the hands of Roma, 0-1 in the Serie A. And Inter Milan are headed into the semifinals of the Champions League against Barcelona in some deep waters. You know, they lost against Bologna. They lost against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia. And now they lost against Roma in the Serie A. You know, they were contenders for the treble. They got knocked out of the Coppa Italia in the semifinals at the hands of AC Milan. They were first in the Serie A, but after losing to Bologna and today to Roma, they're now dropping to second in the Serie A. And well, now they go into the Champions League, having suffered 3 defeats in a row. So hopefully this will play in favor of Barcelona, and we'll be able to capitalize on this weak moment that Inter Milan are going through, and hopefully we'll pull an important victory in the Champions League semifinals. And hopefully we'll see our team back in the finals after many, many, many years. Since 2015, that's 10 years. That's way, way too long. But anyways, that is all the news for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, peace.